Hello kiddos, we're going to go ahead and practice for our Chapter 5 math test. Before you begin, I would recommend writing down your H trick. So if you would want, you could write your H trick on the side here or whatnot. Go ahead and do that. Pause the video and write your H trick so you have that throughout the video. All right, this says the volleyball club plans to have 7 teams. There are 42 students who signed up to play. How many students will be on each team? Well, they gave this to you, so you're saying to yourself, 7 times what is 42? So in this one, you're going to count by 7s until you get to 42. Now, if you can't count by 7s, you would have to draw 7 groups and separate out until you get 42 things. Okay, but hopefully you can count by 7s. Let's go ahead and do that. You ready? 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. How many fingers do we have up? If you said 6, you are correct. Okay, so if you can, count by 7s. If not, you will have to draw pictures. All right, the gymnastics team is going to a meet. The table shows how many coaches and gymnasts will travel to the gymnastic meet. Which of the following describes a pattern in this table? Well, what kind of tables are these? When we first learned these at the beginning of the chapter, we learned that these tables are always multiplication. And we always put a line right beside our multiplication symbol. Well, if these tables are always multiplication, that means that adding 6 cannot be right, and it also means that subtracting 6 cannot be right, because these are always multiplication. Now, I can use the 2's or the 5's to figure out what I am multiplying by. I am going to use the 5's. We are going to count by 5 until we get to 20. Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20. How many fingers do I have up? 4. Put 4 on the line. 4 times 2 is 8, and 4 times 5 is 20. So did we multiply by 2 or multiply by 4? We multiplied by 4 because it says times 4. All right, number 3. The garden maze allows groups of 50 people to go through the maze at one time. One afternoon, 3 groups go through the garden maze. How many people go through the garden maze in one afternoon? I have a 50 and I have a 3. I see the words how many, but how many is not super important. Do you see any other words that are important? If you said the word groups, you are correct. Groups means to multiply. So let's pull our numbers. 50 times 3. If you need to pause the video, go ahead and pause it until you get caught up. What is 0 times 3? It is 0. What is 5 times 3? Well, let's count by 5s 3 times. Ready? 5, 10, 15. So my answer is 150. Circle 150. Moving on. Uncle Tito has 4 nephews. He gets each boy a $30 gift card to a hobby shop. What is the total cost of the 4 gift cards? This is unneeded information, so cross off the 4. I see a 4 and a 30. Do you see any other keywords? If you said total, you are correct. Total means to add or multiply. Well, adding means no groups. Multiply means groups. Do you have groups? If you said yes, you are correct. Nephews is a group of people. Therefore, it means to multiply. So cross off your plus sign, and let's set this up. 30 times 4. 0 times 4 is 0. What is 3 times 4? If you do not know what 3 times 4 is, you will need to draw 3 groups and put 4 in a group. And then you will need to count your dots. Please pause the video now and do that if you need to. 3 times 4 is 12. 120. 120. All right, let's turn our page. Number 5. A bank makes rolls of 40 nickels. How many nickels would there be in 8 rolls of nickels? I see a 40 and I see an 8. I also see the words how many. Well, during class today, some of the children did not know what rolls were, so let me see if I can pull that up really quick for you. Do you know what rolls of money is? Have you ever seen that before? Well, a roll is where they put the coins into kind of like an envelope. So I don't know if it's not coming up right now. So I'll show you here that in a bit if it comes up. So I know that rolls is actually a group word because I put the nickels into the rolls. Therefore, it is multiplication. So we would do 40 times 8. Well, what is 0 times 8? 0 times 8 is 0. What is 4 times 8? Now, this is where you want to have your H trick written down. Remember, we can use our H trick to help us. If you wrote it, you can use that now, as I'm writing it now, here. And then I go 0, 2, 4, 6, 8, 0, 2, 4, 6, 8. And I'm going to count the 4th problem. 1, 2, 3, 4. The answer is 32. So we got an answer of 320. All right. Sally needs to buy 18 party favors. There are 6 party favors in each box. How many boxes of party favors does Sally need to buy? They already set it up for you. What times 6 is 18? Your choices are 3, 4, 10, and 12. Now, if you do not know, you will need to draw 6 groups. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And you will need to count to 18. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Continue to do that until you get to 18. Pause the video now until you are done. Well, you should have gotten an answer of 3. 3 times 6 is 18. If you correctly drew your picture, you should have 3 in the first group. Number 7. Mr. King and Mr. Pitters have 30 students each in their classes. After lunch, both classes play on the playground. How many students are on the playground? Well, I only see a 30. Do you see anything else? Well, this word both here means a 2. Both means 2. So it also means 2 times. If I have both classes, classes is a group. Therefore, it is multiplication. So we will do 30 times 2. What is 0 times 2? 0 times 2 is 0. What is 3 times 2? 3 times 2 is 6. So our answer is 60. All right, let's look at number 8. Sophia is making omelets. The table shows how many eggs she will need. Which of the following describes a pattern in this table? Well, what kind of charts are these? These charts are always multiplication. So we know to write a multiplication sign. And we write a line. What times something is going to give us our rule? Well, if we know that these charts are always multiplication, we know that add and subtract are wrong. Now, let's use either our 2's or our 5's to figure out our rule. Let's count by 5's until we get to 15. Ready? 5, 10, 15. I got a 3. So 3 times 5 is 15. Well, is 3 times 2 6? Let's see. Let's count by 2's. 2, 4, 6. Yes, so I know that our rule is to multiply by 3. All right, just turn it over. Claire bought 6 bags of beads. There are 80 beads in each bag. How many beads did Claire buy? I see an 80 and a 6. I also see the words how many. Do you see anything else? Well, I see the words bags. What does the word bags mean? Bags means to multiply because I can put beads into a bag. So let's write it out. 80 times 6. What is 0 times 6? 0 times 6 is 0. What is 8 times 6? 8 times 6. Well, I could use my H trick, or I could say 6 times 8 is 48. So it's 480. If you don't use your 8 trick, then you would have to draw 8 groups of 6. Number 10. A toy store has 4 shelves of stuffed animals on display. Each shelf displays 20 stuffed animals. Which diagram shows a way to find the total number of stuffed animals on display? I see a 4 and I see a 20. I also see the word total. Total means to add or multiply. Do you see any other keywords? If you said the word shelves, you are correct. Shelves is a group. Therefore, it means to multiply. So I know that I am doing 4 times 20. Well, what does that mean? Remember that this times sign really means groups of or rows of. It means the same thing. So 4 groups of 20 or 4 groups of 4 rows of 20. Well, let's see what has 4 rows. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one does. Let's try this one. 1, 2, 3, 4. That one does. 1, 2, 3. Well, that can't be right because we know that we have 4 rows. Let's try D. 1, 2, 3, 4. So A, B, and D all have 4 rows, but we have to show 4 rows of 20. So we must count the top row. Let's start by doing A and see if we have 20. Ready? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No, that's not 20, so A is not right. Let's see how many B has. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. So the correct answer is B. All right, what multiplication equation do the blocks model? We are going to do the same thing. First, we are going to look at the side. How many is on the side? If you said 4, you are correct. How many is on the top? 10, 20, 30. This says 4 groups of 30. So what is the correct answer? The correct answer is D. At the piano recital, 8 students played the piano. Each student played the piano for 20 minutes. How many minutes long was the piano recital? I see an 8 and a 20. I see the words how many. Do I see anything else? I see the word students. The students play the minutes. Therefore, it is a group. What is 20 times 8? What is 0 times 8? 0 times 8 is 0. What is 8 times 2? If you said 16, you are correct. So the answer is 160. Pilar spent $48 on 6 books. The cost of each book was the same. Which equation can be used to find the cost of one book? 48 and 6. If you see the word spent, it means equals. So this means that it equals 48. Which one of these equals 48? equals 6 equals 6 equals 8 equals 48. If you said D, you are correct. All right, let's go ahead and turn our page. We are now on number 14. Bobby made a table about ants. Which of the following describes a pattern in this table? What kind of table is this? These kind of tables are always multiplication. So we will write a multiplication and a line. Well, what problems can we cross off? I can cross off add 10 and add 15 because these charts are always multiply. I could look at the 2s and I can also look at the 5s. I am going to count by 5s until I get to 30. Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. How many fingers do I have up? If you said 6, you are correct. So that means that I am going to be multiplying by 6, which is D. All right. Mrs. Chandler planted 5 rows of bean seedlings. She planted 50 seedlings in each row. How many seedlings did Mrs. Chandler plant? I see a 50 and a 5. I see how many. How many does not help us. Do you see anything else? I see the word rows. Rows means to multiply. So I am going to multiply 50 times 5. What is 0 times 5? 0 times 5 is 0. What is 5 times 5? Let's count by 5s. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25. So the answer is 250. Choice B. All right, let's look at number 16. Mr. Perkins plans to teach 4 reading groups with the same number of students in each group. He has 28 students. How many students will be in each reading group? Well, we can use this. What times 4 is 28? Well, if you do not know, you will need to draw 4 groups. And you will need to separate out 28. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Keep doing that until you get to 28. Pause the video now and tell me what you got. You should have had 7 in each of these groups. So the answer is 7. Each school bus has seats for 30 students. On a recent 3rd grade field trip, 7 buses were filled with students. How many students went on the field trip? I see a 30 and I see a 7. I also see the words how many. Well, that's not super helpful. But I do see the word buses. I would put the students in the buses. Therefore, buses is multiplication. So 30 times 7. 0 times 7 is 0. 3 times 7. I can count by 7s 3 times. Here we go. 7, 14, 21. So we got 21. 210. The correct answer is D. All right, moving on. Number 18. The music teacher is planning a party for the chorus students after the show. The table shows how many packages of cups she will need to buy for the party. Which of the following describes a pattern in the table? These kind of charts are always multiplication. So I can put a number here. What times something? Well, if they're multiplication, I know that A and B are wrong because that says add and subtract. I could use my 2s or my 5s to figure out what the pattern is. Let's count by 5s until we get to 40. Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35, 40. How many fingers do I have up? If you said 8, you are correct. So that means that I am multiplying by 8. All right, Corey welded 20 pipes together to make a railing. Each pipe was 5 feet long. How many feet of pipe did Corey use for the railing? Well, I see a 20 and I see a 5. I also see the word how many. Well, let's think about this. One pipe is worth 5 feet. Another pipe is 5 feet. Another pipe is 5 feet. Do you see that it's 5, 5, 5, 5, 5? Well, if I have the same number over and over and over again, that means that I would multiply. What is 0 times 5? 0 times 5 is 0. What is 2 times 5? 2 times 5 is 10. So the correct answer is 100. Number 20. Mei Ling baked 6 batches of rice cakes. There were 30 rice cakes in each batch. How many rice cakes did she bake in all? I see a 30 and I see a 6. I also see how many. That is not super helpful. But I do see the words in all. In all can mean add or multiply. So add, no groups, multiply, groups. If you said batches means to multiply, you are correct because batches is a group of something. So I am going to do 30 times 6. 0 times 6 is 0. What is 3 times 6? If you do not know, you will have to draw 3 groups. You will then have to put 6 in each group. Please pause the video now to find out what 30 times 6 is. If you got that 3 times 6 is 18, the correct answer is 180. Number 21. One set of colored art pencils at an art supply store has 60 pencils. How many art pencils are in 7 sets? I see a 60 and I see a 7. I also see the words how many. Well, that doesn't help me. But I see the word sets. A set is a group of something. Therefore, it is multiplication. We will do 60 times 7. 0 times 7 is 0. What is 6 times 7? Well, I can count by 7 6 times. Here we go. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. So what did you get? If you said 42, you are correct. So the correct answer is B, 420. All right, we're on the back. Number 22. Lucia takes care of farm animals. She works 5 days each week. Last week, she took care of 60 different farm animals each workday. How many farm animals did Lucia take care of last week? I see a 5 and I see a 60. I see the words how many. Well, that's not super helpful. But I see the word days. Days is always a group of something. So I know that I am doing 60 times 5. What is 0 times 5? It's 0. What's 6 times 5? I will count by 5s 6 times. Here we go. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30. So I got an answer of 30. So the correct answer is 300. Number 23. Eric must bring 27 tennis balls to tennis camp. Tennis balls come in cans of 3. How many cans does he need? Well, it tells you that something times 3 is 27. So if you do not know, you will have to draw 3 groups. You are then going to have to go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, and not stop until you get to 27. Pause the video now if you need to do that. When you're ready, press play. If you got that in the first group there are 9, you are correct. because 9 times 3 is 27. Number 24. Elliot buys 7 boxes of envelopes. There are 80 envelopes in each box. How many envelopes does Elliot buy altogether? I see an 80 and a 7. I see how many. Do you see any other keywords? I see the word altogether. It means to add or multiply. Well, do I have groups or do I not? The word boxes means to multiply. I can put the envelopes inside the box, so I will multiply. 80 times 7. What is 0 times 7? 0 times 7 is 0. What is 8 times 7? 8 times 7 is 56. So, I know that the answer is 560. You could have done your H trick, counted by 7s, or 7, 8, 7, 8, 5, 6, 7, 8. All right, last one. Caitlin puts cookies into bags for a bake sale. The table shows how many cookies she will need. Which 2 numbers will come next? We are trying to find these 2 numbers. So, let's look. We will know that this is a multiplication chart. We are trying to figure it out. This time we cannot use the 5s, but I can use the 2s. I am going to count by 2s until I get to 14. Here we go. 2, 4, 6, 8, 10, 12, 14. I have 7 fingers up. Now I need to figure out these numbers. 7 times 5. Let's count by 5s 7 times. 5, 10, 15, 20, 25, 30, 35. So the first box is 35. Now let's count by 7s 6 times. Here we go. 7, 14, 21, 28, 35, 42. So that's 42. I got a 35 and a 42. That means that the correct answer is C. All right, kiddos, good luck on your test tomorrow.